If you're at a church and you're struggling with you have modern and traditional in the same space and how to make those two worship styles work together in the same space, well, we're here at White's Chapel Methodist Church in Southlake, Texas. Say your last name again.
Osenkop.
Osenkop.
Yep.
And that's a mouthful, but it's a really cool mouthful.
Dutch.
Yes. Okay. So we're with Dutch Jordy, the production manager here at White's Chapel. And Jordy, do you guys have traditional and contemporary, or is it even more complicated than that?
We have two traditional services that we host here in our sanctuary, and one contemporary, which is smack dab between the two.
Oh, how convenient.
So how convenient is right. So we really have to be on our A game when it comes to changing over and making sure that our stage is set up, our chancel is set up for that.
Okay.
So
let's talk traditional. So you have, you have a traditional sandwich with contemporary.
Yes, we do.
Meat. Right.
The contemporary is the meat and the cheese.
Yeah. So what is the elements of, the worship and the preaching of the traditional service? You choir, orchestra, organ?
Yes.
What's going on there?
So our first one that we do at 8:20 in the morning is fully traditional, very stripped down, I would say. We don't have a choir typically. Sometimes we'll pull in a small 15 to 30 person ensemble. We just put them right in the middle of the chancel and just put a couple mics in front of them, pretty simple. Our worship leader just stands at the pulpit and sings from there.
Okay.
And we just have piano and organ, pretty simple. And that's just how we lay it out.
So you prearrange the layout for the contemporary?
Yes.
Even though the first traditional is going?
Yes, we do. So we have a worship rehearsal at 7 o'clock in the morning, and that's just the contemporary rehearsal. We have our full praise band out, 4 vocalists, the whole praise band. And then once that's done, we get them off the stage. They leave their equipment, but then we get right into our 8:20 service, and we let that roll with the equipment on stage.
Mm-hmm.
We just use our camera shots to make sure that we're not highlighting any of that equipment, and it stays out of the way. We don't light it up. We light up what just needs to be lit, and it works out pretty well. It's not too distracting to have that equipment on stage. That way, as soon as the 8:20 service is done, we can just roll straight into the 9:30 contemporary service.
Yeah. Okay, and what time do you guys have to get here on a Sunday morning to...
I get here at 6 in the morning just to make sure everything is ready to go. But all of our technicians have a call time of 6:30.
Okay. And we just like to throw out context because sometimes church leadership might think it'd be a really good idea to have multiple services, but we also just need to be aware of what that costs the people doing all the setup. All right, so we're starting at 6 a.m.
Yep.
You're essentially setting up the contemporary service and then a small traditional service, for lack of a better word, in front of it.
Yes.
Then you were striking that small traditional that I assume goes pretty quickly?
Yeah, there's not much to strike there. If anything, it's just one set of mics that sit out front for the ensemble.
Yeah. Okay, so contemporary comes on. Is that, normal, like 5-piece band with singers?
So we have 2 electric guitars, 2 keyboard players, a bass player, 4 vocalists, and a drummer.
Okay.
All on stage. Everything is set up already.
Yeah.
The other thing that we do to get ready for that service is we try to make this room a little more contemporary feeling. We have this beautiful stained glass window that is behind the camera that y'all can't see at the moment, but we have a drape on it that we close for the 9:30 service to make it more dark, so the haze can do its thing, the lights can beam and not just wash everything. We lower our video wall down to the height that it's at right now, so people can see it more.
Yeah, we noticed there's a big LED wall on your stage on motors.
It is.
So is that up high during the traditional service?
During traditional, yes, it's all the way raised. We have it, we've got some limits on it, so we just let it ride to its top position and bottom position.
Does it kind of hide up there behind the PA?
It does hide up there behind the PA, which is on.
Just have it off?
We have it on, actually. We use some backdrops that some of our hourly guys have gone out and filmed of the church campus. We have a beautiful pond out there with a small chapel in the background that we'll just do a rotating video of.
Yeah.
Those are our traditional backgrounds typically.
Okay.
And then we do the, fancy ones for contemporary, like the one we're seeing right now. A little more colorful, a little more vibrant.
Yeah. Now, we do notice this beautiful stained glass window way up high back there. I assume the LED wall, for most people's vantage point, is covering that, that traditional.
Unfortunately, it does. That's the one thing that we do struggle with in here. Some people do like to see that. That's just something that we have to deal with. Complaints. And it, I think it works fine. You can see it from some vantage points.
Okay, so a contemporary band is already pretty much pre-set up, ready, and then you were lowering the LED wall. How long does it take to lower that?
I would say anywhere from 20 to 30 seconds. It's not too long. When you're in a rush, it feels longer for sure. But
all right, so you cover the back stained glass window, you lower the LED wall, change the lighting scene, I'm assuming. Does the music just automatically go up because it's contemporary service?
Yes, we do mix the 9:30 contemporary service a little bit louder. We have a playlist that runs from Spotify. Normally we have just traditional hymns from a piano playing for the traditional service, and then we'll set it to switch over to our contemporary playlist, just playing your normal stuff. We'll bump it up for walk-in music.
Got it. So you run the contemporary, and then how long do you have to then change it back to traditional?
So that depends on how long the service goes. We've got it down pretty well to make sure that we have enough time allotted to do that. But sometimes, the band adds an extra bridge to a song and then an extra chorus to another song just on the spot. And so we have to add that time. And then sometimes some prayers can go a little bit longer, but we always accommodate for that. During the sermon, I'm usually backstage in our rehearsal space getting an orchestra count, because every week it's a little bit different because we have a volunteer orchestra. But I'll make a seating chart. I have a printout of what our chancel looks like, and I'll assign where everyone sits. And then we usually can get anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. Sometimes we get more, sometimes we get less, to seat the whole orchestra, get rid of the praise band. Sometimes we have the praise band integrated into our orchestra. So we have to accommodate for that.
Okay, so let's assume the worst case scenario. You got 15 minutes. Let's assume it's the biggest changeover you got. You got a 30-piece orchestra or whatever it is. Do you have choir as well?
We do have a choir.
Okay. And so what are you striking from contemporary typically in order to change over to that system?
So it really depends on what we have that weekend, because like I just said, sometimes we do have the praise band integrated into the orchestra. So if we do, we just need to make sure we scoot their stuff to the side to let us bring out 20 to 30 chairs. What we're striking is really dependent on the week. Every musician also has an aviom that they use for personal in-ear mixing, so we have to also move those, as well as the keyboards, the stands, all the cables. Get those out of the way. And then we use about 7 microphones on our orchestra that we need to make sure we have placed and ready to go. Everyone needs a music stand, a light, all that.
Okay. And is orchestras just on stage monitors? How are they hearing?
They have 2 stage monitors that they use. Obviously, they're going to watch the conductor for everything that they need. But we do have a couple of little Behringer monitors that just face them so they can hear. One in the back.
Does LED wall go back up again?
LED wall goes back up because where we're standing right now, we wouldn't be able to see the choir. We got to make sure that people in the balcony can see the choir so they can see, their family or whoever they want that's in there. So we do bring that wall back up to open the space back up for traditional.
Okay, so I assume there's usually some opinions about, when we're in a traditional service, let's not see any contemporary elements, or maybe vice versa. Where have you found the most tension as far as, the technology and the look of different services?
I hate to call out our lighting guy on this, but the lights is one of our biggest complaints. They're in my eyes. It's too flashy. We need to tone it down a little bit. So I think that we've come up in an agreement. We keep it tame at 11 o'clock, I would say, except for when we do have a special song at 11. Sometimes we have more of a contemporary sounding song, and then, our lighting guy will turn on the hazers, and we'll let it happen for a little bit. And
because you do have a lot of, moving lights. You can see them from here. You can see a PA hanging there. There's certain things you just can't hide for the traditional service.
Yeah, we, that's true. We just keep it pretty tame with the lighting. That's a big thing. And with the wall going back up, it's kind of out of eyesight a little bit. We do use it for lyrics for all of our congregational hymns, obviously. We still have hymnals out in all of our pews for people to use, but not everyone wants to flip through and find hymnal number 350 when they can just look up at our wall And the use of our backgrounds that we use at 11 o'clock really helps that too. They're not in your face like stars flashing, very vibrant. They're usually nature related.
So do you think there's some reality of it's not even necessarily the tech itself? There's some of that, but it's also how you use it.
It's how we use it. Exactly.
Yeah. So do you have any helpful advice? I mean, there are probably hundreds of thousands of churches around America, around the world, that they're trying to balance this traditional and modern services, maybe running both. What are some of the hard lessons that maybe you guys have learned in order to just help balance the both? You're not going to please everybody all the time.
No.
But, what do you guys do intentionally to help bridge that gap?
We take comments that we receive from people with grace, for sure. We're sorry that those lights were in your eyes. We'll fix it. We'll move them. Pretty much everything that people have brought up to us, we take note of it and make sure that we are doing it in a way that is helpful for us and helpful for them. Yeah.
And hopefully your senior leadership has your back.
They do. Yes, they do have our back. They support what we do. They support our decisions. We are the experts in this stuff. And, we're constantly learning new ways to make this stuff work with what we've got. Recently, I have extended one of our racks to a higher position, and it actually hides more cables, which is nice. Keeping stuff hidden is helpful. Trying to make everything look like it's got a use, but it's...
Yeah. And you guys are one of the largest Methodist churches in the country?
Yes, we are.
And so you have thousands of people coming every Sunday.
Yes.
And so that's going to exponentially increase those comment cards that you have to take with grace, those opinions. So, whatever size church you're in, if you're in a small church, if you're in a giant church, I mean, White's Chapel here is doing it at scale. That doesn't mean it's easier. Maybe they have a few more dollars and resources, but then they also have exponentially more opinions. And the changeover, you have thousands of cars coming in and out of the...
Oh, yeah.
And then the time that you have to change over, like he said, sometimes it's 15 minutes. I love just some of the principles of you can have technology in the traditional, change how you use it. You can have traditional elements in the contemporary, you might just change how you use them, but you can blend both. Was it a kind of a level of growing pains where it took some time for both sides of the congregation to get more used to it? Then once they got used to it, has it gone a lot better?
It has. There weren't too many growing pains, at least since I've been here, because when I showed up, we were already doing all of this. We've just kind of polished it a little bit here and there. And our 820 crowd is the crowd that really likes that traditional style. Mostly every congregation likes what they like. But it hasn't been too tough getting there.
Yeah.
Slow effort, but
love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So if you're a church trying this at home, check out White's Chapel, look at both of their services, see how they're doing it, and from the live stream, that it's the same space, it's the same gear, but they're changing over in between. So let it inspire you for creative and unique ways to do it at your church. Hey, thanks so much for watching that video. We know how difficult it is to keep Sundays running at your church, and we know a lot of it is about the gear. So we want to give you an exclusive 5% additional off anything, even if we're running a sale. Even if we're running a sale, additional 5% off, grab the code in the video description below.